Hello subscribers, welcome to a live stream of Wizardry 8. This is a tutorial for newer players. We're playing this Iron Man, but we're playing it on Novice. And we're on part 3 of this. We're going to head to Arnika Road, which is the place where most new players end up getting killed and struggle. So we're going to give tips on that.
Here.
So we have a fighter, ranger, ninja, bard, priest, alchemist.
Present.
You go back to part 1 to hear my explanation on why I would pick that as your new player. And let's get our training in on the adventure spells. And we are ready to snag a few remaining items and get out of the monastery. Monastery is almost a training ground in a way to prepare you for part of the game and kind of what you're going to be dealing with and stuff. So this is a spoiler. A lot of this is going to be spoilers, so unfortunately, you're going to get that if you're watching this. But since we had that one machine break the glass, we can now come up here and drop down and open this. So take a little bit of damage. There is a way where you can land on this, but it's hard to pull off. So
Yes.
good news is we get training. Every time you get healed, make sure you do your training. And priest
Present.
can do her training as well. Okay, nice. You don't want to, anytime you open something like this, don't get right next to it because there is a bug in the game where you can actually get crushed. So back up a little bit. We got a Hunter's Cape. This is a pretty good item. +2 armor class, that's evasion armor class. And +5 senses, so we're going to put that on the Ranger. It's perfect for him. Alright. Go ahead and rest, get those spell points back that we just spent. Okay. We have 2 more places to go in here real quick. Snag a couple more items. Come down here. This is not broken because we activated that machine. Samurai only, but even though we can't use it, it's worth a good amount of money. So we'll take that and identify it later. And then up here, come back up here because there's another piece of glass that broke. Let's see if there's anything around the corner.
Taken care of.
Nope. So we can pick up this shillelagh. And fellowship pass. Okay. You can always click on books and stuff to read them to get more information about the story of the game. Definitely want to do that to enjoy the story. Okay, we're ready to head out. Let's open the door. You push directly up and then it prompts you to leave. A lot of times there's going to be crabs right here. And you'll have to fight them. It looks like we don't have to fight them. I will show you where there's a good potion. Go south. And then kind of walk around here. Let's take a look at our Ranger's senses. It's 82 with a scouting of 17. So he should be able to find this.
Things for me.
There it is. A granite potion. Really, really good. Especially early on. The fighter has so many hit points now. 78 compared to the Ranger's 39. I think it's time to move the ranger back. So what we're going to do is pick him, move him here.
Check.
And we're only going to have the fighter up front. So that's why we put the guardian, or the granite potion on him, and we'll be casting guardian angel spells. Now if you notice when I'm walking, I'm always hugging the wall here. You always want to do that in these open areas. Because then at least you won't be able to get attacked from behind. You can still get attacked from the sides. But just be very careful. Go slow, hug the walls. Sometimes even kind of shuffle like this. You can use the insert and delete keys on your numpad to do that. I'm gonna slide this way. Nothing there, okay. You just always want to try to be facing forward if possible. If you're really paranoid or really worried about what's coming, you go into combat, hit the tilde key. I've shown this many times.
Very well.
I'll continue to show it. Do a run command, a shift R. Hit enter. Begin to move. Kind of look around. If you've used up most of your movement and you still don't see anything on the mini-map, what I recommend is finishing the move by clicking this X. Hit tilde again immediately to go back in so that monsters aren't having time to come towards you.
Check.
Do the run command again. Just do this again. Repeat it. The reason why you don't want to exhaust all your movement is because sometimes you'll move forward around a corner and there's going to be enemies there. And now, unfortunately, you don't have enough movement to get back away from them. And so you'll stop moving and it'll drop you right into combat. But like, let's say there were some right here. I still have some movement to get back in a way like this. So that's kind of the technique I'd recommend when you're doing this move. You don't see anything red on the mini-map. You can quickly exit, quickly go back in, and just repeat this. Now, doing this does impact your stamina. You can see my yellow has gone down. So that is a slight price to pay. But in dangerous areas, it's definitely worth it. And you can get your stamina back pretty quickly by just standing still or doing a quick camp. So that will help you on Arnika Road here to sneak around. It also lets you get some of the set encounters. You surprise them there.
It will be done.
Like, let's take a look around here. So there's still nothing.
Very well.
I know there's something around here. Let's take a look. See? On the mini-map down here, we suddenly have some red. It's this guy right here. But now I have enough movement to back up. Watch the mini-map. It turned white. That means if I exit now, he's not going to attack. I usually give a little bit of a buffer, back up a little more in case he's moving quickly. It'll give you a split second to go back into combat. Like now. So now we can surprise this guy. Just throw noxious fumes. We can either move forward or we can do this. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna throw it around the corner. And then we'll put a guardian angel on the fighter.
Very well.
You want to do that very often, especially in the beginning of the game. Bard's gonna use angel loot. Everybody else, doesn't matter what we do. They can just stand still for now. Okay, combat did continue. Sometimes you do that, as I've mentioned, then it kicks you out of combat and you can do it again for free.
Taken care of.
Priest this time. Let's see, what are we gonna do? I guess to get some training, do some more guardian angels, even though you don't really need to.
Very well.
Bard can put him to sleep. Get some training on his music
Very
again.
well. Taken care of.
Do a run command so that they'll move toward us. Now we can see them, so now we can actually attack with our ranged weapons.
Hola podrida. Taken care
Now I'm
of.
just gonna get some straight weapon training. He's pretty much dead, so move forward. Throwing knives, going to the ninja. Since you have a ninja in your party, if you're following this type of run, you'll almost always want to give the throwing weapons to him. Picked up some new gloves, nice. Put down the fighter. Armor plate expired. Let's see if we have enough magic points to cast it yet. We don't. We need one more. So, you can go into combat by hitting the tilde and hitting enter. Real quickly like this. And see, we got enough rounds passed where it regenerated a spell point. So, let's go ahead and cast it now. Just because I know there's something around the corner. Do our peak. What are we dealing with? So we got, it's like 5 or 6. Level 3. Bandits level 3. They're all weak, level 3. Watch the mini map. They're all white. This time I'm gonna jump around the corner and throw noxious fumes their way. So what we can do here is see how you can't target things out of range with this type of spell. If you click, it'll make a noise like that, meaning you can't do it.
Taken care of.
So we can do it right there. Sometimes walls get weird and they actually block. Even though it looks like you can see it, the game won't let you do it. Let's assume that's the case. What we can do is act like we're going to cast it here, but we're not going to. We're going to retarget. Priest is going to do a Guardian Angel.
Very well.
Bard's planning on doing a Angel's Tongue Bless.
Okay.
Now we'll do our run. We'll move now just a little bit. Now we can right click on this and then left click and retarget it. So now we've retargeted to those guys. As long as we didn't move too far, we will cast it.
Hola podrida.
Alright. Do it again. This time, I'm
Taken
going
care
to
of.
let them run forward so that we don't miss. One of the beginner mistakes that's common is you don't do the run command. So you'll try to throw it where they're at right now. And you're not familiar with your speed versus their speed. And most of them will run forward and you'll miss. So you're better waiting and allowing them to get close. Okay, we're just going to do
Taken
straight
care
weapons
of.
and one Noxious Cloud here. See, this guy came all the way up. This guy was wanting to throw, so he stayed back there. So we got kind of a weird situation here. If we look at the mini map down here, you can see one of the reds right now is on the right quadrant. He's like right about here. So he could hit anybody because this quadrant's empty. The one in front here can only hit the fighter. So you can decide, hey, we're doing our move, so we could do this. And if you've noticed, I positioned these 2 red dots all on the front. So then now they're forced to hit the fighter. And it will work this round. This round, they will only be able to hit the fighter with melee weapons. Because they're short range. It doesn't say that because I don't have enough mythology. But that is their max range. Before I do that, let's target. We're going to figure out who we're going to target. So if I do there, it's going to hit everyone except this guy. See how he's not green? So sometimes you just barely ease it. You can keep going back. As long as you don't left click, and you just kind of leave it on the cursor, it'll highlight the next guy. So now if we want it to go like this, we can. We're going to miss 2 guys in the back in order to pick up this one guy that's right next to us. It's kind of a judgment call on that. In general, I will hit the guys up front first because they're more threatening. So I am going to do this. You can really spend a lot of time if you want trying to get it perfect. Like here, I just got it better. I picked up one more guy because I moved it a little bit to the left. So now that that's what we have, we just left click. They're targeted. Now I'm going to reposition. You have to make sure your final movement is getting it positioned the way you want. Now we're going to
Very well.
shift click here to make all of our attacks go to this guy. And then we're ready to go. Hit enter.
Ola podrida.
And by the way, there's different camera setups you can have if you go into settings. This camera auto rotation by default is pan. I've turned that off just to make it faster. If you leave it on pan, every time you get attacked, and you probably will want to leave it on pan when you play the first time, it's going to show the monsters attacking you, and it'll show every time you attack. So I'm going to turn that back on just so you can see how it works. It's the next round. I'm going to just turn the camera like this on purpose, and then we're going to let pan do its thing. See? It panned to that guy because he moved. Pan that direction because I attacked him. So pan is really nice to kind of keep the camera focused in the center of whoever's moving, doing stuff. Hey Sever, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Thank you so much for subscribing again. 6 months. That is very kind of you. Thank you. That's awesome. Okay, let's get one more noxious fume, and then we'll do the rest with weapons. Really appreciate it, Silver.
Okay.
Do the run, we're going to move forward. Every time you do a run, that's probably something I should explain. If the enemy is within range where they can hit you, whether it's a melee or a ranged attack, they will get all their attacks in before you get to move. So just keep that in mind. There's times where you will not want to do a run. But in this case we do, because there's only 2 of them and they were far away. So their chance of hitting us was low. Alright.
Delightful.
Priest level up, alchemist level up. Nice.
My power grows stronger.
And decent training. So what do we got? Ooh, we got a shadow cloak. So that could work on the ninja, the bard. Let's take a look here. The bard has no base armor class. 42 hit points. Average armor class is 4. Ninja's same way with less hit points. We're going to put it on the ninja. Leather legging. This is probably an upgrade for someone. Check who's up front first. Give them the best anti-penetration first. And then do the hand-me-downs. So now Quilt and Fur have the same armor class. It's 4. But if you look at Quilt, mages and psionics can't use it. Whereas Fur, they can. Even monks can use Fur. We don't have those, but if we did, we would want to pass the Fur down to them. Fur's an upgrade for the bard, and the priest gets an upgrade as well. Alright. Get back here, more upgrades. quilt, fur. Do all these hand-me-downs. Let's get our level up. Priest is level 6. We're going to work on intelligence and piety and keep doing that until we get him to 100. Okay, we're definitely getting magic screen at this point. So we got armor plate last time. Now we're getting magic screen. We're going to boost divinity. And then I'm going to work on artifacts and throwing. I'm not putting any points into this because we're doing a lot of training on this on its own. And then alchemy, intelligence and dexterity in the alchemist. And I think it's time for whipping rocks. Start doing some training in the earth realm. I am going to put some points in that. Alchemy and throwing. Okay, now the priest is a little injured.
Yes?
So let's have the alchemist get a little bit of healing training. Okay, what did we pick up? An all pike. Let's compare the spear. So, spear on average does 5.5 damage. It weighs 5, no bonuses. Where'd the all pike go? I thought yeah, here it is. This does a lot more damage. Let's see, what is this? 11.5 damage on average compared to 5.5. We lose a little initiative. The weight is 12, so it's more than double the weight. But we don't lose a chance to hit. So essentially you're getting double the damage for a little more than double the weight. And we just act a little bit slower. We don't have enough speed to get extra swings yet or anything. So this initiative doesn't matter for that. So we're definitely going to equip that. The cool thing is, now that I have the ranger in the middle, we're going to switch him to using spear. So he'll be able to still reach close monsters. And then let's check what kind of sword. So this does 6 on average. 4.5. 4. 4 on average. So we lose 2 on average damage. We get +2 to hit, +1 initiative. It's kind of a tricky trade-off. I think I'm going to go ahead and equip it. Let's take a look at what the game thinks our attack rating will be. 28. Yeah, it's thinking the rapier's better. I agree. And then they're using quarterstaff, so we can't take advantage of this shield. I thought I picked up a whip. I did. So the priest could use a whip, and then we could equip a shield. But I'm not sure I want to do that, because there's not a lot of whips in the game. It trains mace and flail. We don't get our strength bonus. Our strength's weak, though. So actually, I am going to have the whip, or the priest equip the whip. Quarterstaff weighed 4.5. This only weighs 2.5. And it actually does more damage than the quarterstaff, except it's lashing. Lashing has less chance to penetrate, greater chance to hit. And by the way, this does not tell you that. Oh, it does say to penetrate. Okay, let me see. It's not taken into account the attack type, which I guess it can't because some weapons have 2 modes, thrust and bash. But lashing attacks do have a penetrate penalty that's not showing up here. The funny thing is we're so weak, we actually lose more damage bonus with the quarterstaff. See, -15. We equip this, it's only -7. So it does give you an advantage on weak characters. So now we can equip the shield, and that gives him 1 extra evasion. Alright, and then we got some throwing stars for the ninja. We don't really have enough of them right now. So I'm going to hang on to them until I find more. Otherwise, we'll just go through 5 like instantly. Now that we've increased our artifacts a little bit, let's go in and see if we can identify any of this shit. You just right click. Nope. Still no good. Okay.
Huh? Got a trap.
Present.
44. Let's see what this is. It's a dagger scatter. The way this works is if you click and you see a red, it means for sure it's not that type of trap. If it shows dotted yellow, then it means you're not skilled enough to be able to tell. See, and I think we're so high because of the divine trap I just cast, we're not gonna be able to show that. But if it shows greens for all of them, then you know for sure that's what it is. So we know for sure it's dagger scatter. And you just click them.
Yes!
Holy moly. 2 shields. Poison dagger. This is cursed. It's actually a really, really good early weapon. But since it's cursed, you can't use your ranged weapon then. You can't switch. So that's kind of a... It's kind of something you probably don't want to do as a beginner. So we're going to take it all. The round shield, of course, is going to the tank in the front. He's 4 evasion now. Now let me show you the shield skill. If your shield skill is high enough, certain types of shields can give you even a higher bonus. The buckler can give +1 because it's also considered a light. See how it says armor weight class of light? The round shield is also considered light. Once we get a medium shield, this might go up to +2 based on our skill of shield. And you get to heavy shields like heater shields and things, you might even get like +3. So this shield skill will show you on here when you equip it if it'll increase it. Let's take a look. So we have 29. All right, so let's take a look. We got some boots. I'm gonna put those on the alchemist actually. And piercing pipes are amazing. These go on the bard. This is one of those instruments that makes the bard overpowered early on. Take a look at my artifacts. 14, 8, 8, 25. Ranger can take this. Hey, Kid Icarus, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I didn't know you could find bard instruments as random drops. This is a set drop. There's some treasure chests that have set items and random items combined. So that is a set item. But yes, you can find random instruments. Like, I know one of the train guys can drop like a fear type instrument. Does that scale up to include the more powerful ones? No, most instruments are not random drops. They're rare. Yeah, this one was not a random, but there are a few. It's just rare. You won't get like a nuclear blast instrument from a random drop. Okay, I think so. We can't identify those. Those are probably like armor piercers or viper or something. So I think we're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and rest here. Make sure you get in the corner, turn your back to a wall. Alright, we got our spell points
Present.
back. Alright. Just keep hugging the walls. And you can toggle between normal movement and running. You know, you run when you hold down the shift key. Like I sometimes will sprint when there's an opening I see and I'm not going around a corner. And then when I go around the corner, I slow down. Like that. Just takes practice getting used to doing that. Now there is a set encounter on Arnika Road of 2 wasps. And they'll come all the way out here sometimes. You don't really know where they're going to be. So we will see those. It's a matter of time. So let's go slow and see if we see them here. Okay, we got some Modais. Okay. But they're only level 4s. But this is kind of a rare... Unless you're low level, this is a rare encounter to have. Usually you'll see bandits and stuff. Let me see what level I am. That's why I'm level 5. So those guys have pretty good hit points. Looks like they're just standing waiting. Ah, there's the wasps I was telling you about. See, they're coming right toward us, so let's back up. Because we don't want too many enemies at once. Now, I went into combat by hitting the tilde key because I wanted to force them to have to run toward me. They'll probably lose their turn, at least the back one, and I'll be able to get some free shots as they run toward me. So sometimes you want to do that. Do noxious fumes.
Taken care of.
And then we're going to Guardian Angel the tank. Fighter up
Very
front.
well.
Bard can use his new instrument, the piercing pipes. This is a cone-based attack. So, you see this, the blue down here? If you're looking straight forward and the ground is level, you're going to see it. But if you look down too far, see how it disappeared? If that happens, just look up. And you can see the direction it's going to go, the cone. You'll notice that even though it shows that going toward him, it's not going to hit him. Because he's behind this wall. This wall's blocking him. But that's okay. We're going to retarget when he gets close.
Very well.
So just pick that. Or do the run command.
It will be done.
Let them come forward. So see, that guy lost his turn. He didn't reach us in time. This guy might still be able to get his attack this round. We don't know. So right click here. Now we can see we're hitting him.
Very well.
We have him in the mini map down here in front of the fighter. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to prep for this one reaching me next time. Since he can't come up here because there's a wall, what I can do is turn left as far as possible where you still see the little red dot within the grid here. You don't want it on the line of the grid. You want it just a little bit inside. Then that way we probably don't have to do the run command next round. Though he'll come up here and probably land like right about here and still be where the fighter is. So we're ready. Let me make sure yellow is hitting them both. It is. So I don't need to retarget the Alchemist Noxious Fumes. Ready. And the Bard played the wrong note. Failed. This guy got knocked out from the Noxious Fumes. So again, Bards and Gadgeteers have that disadvantage where you don't get to pick the power level. And the game likes to make the power level be like on yellow. And so you will backfire, you will fail instruments and things.
Very well.
We're just going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to turn as far as I can this way and still hit that one.
Very well.
expecting him to come up and around the side. Noxious fumes, I'm going to bring toward me now, like this. You can't hurt yourself with spells, like area spells. And priest, go ahead and do bless.
Very well.
Take this!
So you can see how the camera things work. Hits shield. So we got a blockage there.
Taken care of.
Very well.
And since I know this guy's almost dead, he has 4 hit points, I'm gonna go ahead and play the instrument again.
Very well.
Now if things are moving like this, pain in the butt, hold the control key and it pauses their animation. And then you can hover over them. Okay, so there we go. We got some increases. Look how fast the bard's stamina is coming back. Just standing there. It's going quick. Alright. So now we know there's some Modi here. So it's like, oh shoot, what do we do? Do we have enough spell points? We have 24.
Yes?
I've spent most of my air. I only have 2 more casting of Noxious Fumes. So this is where it gets kind of tricky. If we rest somewhere, there's a chance that we're going to get attacked while we're resting. They're coming toward us. Are they? They're going away. They're going away. Okay. We're going to let them go away. And then I'll show you over here a good place to rest. There they disappeared. Okay, so what we're going to do is quickly sprint up into this corner. A really good niche. And you'll find these spots over time. You can hit the back key to back into the position. We can camp. Got our spell points back. Stop resting as soon as you get your spell points.
Present.
You don't want to waste time because it increases the chance of monsters spawning. Okay. Oh yeah, I have magic screen too now. Let's slowly peek around the corner. Okay, I don't see any so far, but they could be there. So, hills and stuff like this could cause major problems.
Check.
There could be monsters hiding, so in general, this is where I start to use the run command.
I see something moving.
Okay, there's some red here on the mini-map. So I don't see them. They're far, but there's something up here. So I want to try to get this to turn white. Still don't see them. Okay, I got it to turn white. So that means they're right behind this hill somewhere. Since I've used up almost all my movement, I definitely want to stop and go right back into combat. Since everything's white on the minimap. So we did the tilde immediately. Let's continue our run command now. We get all of our movement back. You're going to want to do this a lot on Arnika Road. Now, there's a big ravine here, so there could be some monsters right here that we're not seeing. So since I'm almost out of movement, do the same thing.
Okay.
Start again. In case I need to back off, I got some movement back. Okay, nothing. Do it again.
Taken care of.
Keep hugging the walls. We're getting to go around a corner, so do it again.
Okay.
Just always check the mini-map, make sure there's nothing there or it's white. You can't do what I'm doing if it's red. You need to back up to where it becomes white. Otherwise you'll start combat. Okay. Nothing there.
Very well.
Go back in.
Very well.
It's up to you how cautious you want to be. Now that I found this little nook I can kind of back up like this. And now I'm in pretty good shape. You know, there's nothing around. So I'm gonna quit doing the sneak thing there. But that technique can help you a lot. It's up to you which side you want to hug, the left or right. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you're hugging the side. So, someone that has artifacts. The bard has an attack instrument, so I don't care about him. I'm going to give this to the ranger. He can do some training on his artifacts, and energy ball is power 6. It's pretty good. Lots of charges in here. 5% mental, too. So those Piercer Modi probably went north. There's only one more section here that we have to go through. I don't see them. So they probably went north or despawned. So that's how you can get past Arnika Road. You just gotta be careful. Once you get so far to an area, then it'll just prompt you to proceed. That's a great way to escape enemies that are chasing you. Like if you're about ready to die, try to make it to the edge and exit that map, and the enemies won't be able to follow you. They'll get stuck on the previous map. Just remember that when you come back, they could potentially still be there waiting for you. But that's a great way to try to survive if you're in trouble. Okay, this is a renewal potion, which can restore drained hit points. We got some reds. Saw it on the minimap. As soon as you see some reds on the minimap, try to either get away from them or turn around and face them. Because you don't know what it is. So we found out those are shrieker bats. I'm not going to fight those. I'll skip them. Hey, Moody. Welcome to stream. How are you doing? 6 out of 10. All right. Hey, Trauma. Welcome. How are you? Yeah, this is for beginners. I've had quite a few requests lately. People wanting to get into the game, but they haven't played it before. And it seems kind of overwhelming. So I'm just giving tips. So this is the first NPC that we're going to find. His name's Miles. He's a rogue. There's good and bad with NPCs. The good is you have extra characters, so they can be meat shields. They can give you more options. The bad is they hog up experience, except quest experience. Quest experience when you complete a mission is not shared. So it doesn't matter how many people you have in your party. But killing monsters is shared. So it'll make your regular PCs overall weaker in general. The other downside to NPCs is they won't go to a lot of areas. You can kidnap them to get them to go, but then they're cursed and they complain the whole time. So, as a beginner, I would recommend getting them. They will make the play easier. So we'll go ahead and recruit Miles.
You probably know all about Arnika, but let me fill you
They
in
contribute
on a
to
couple
the
of
story
details.
too.
Take that tower, for instance. There's no way in, and that's my professional opinion. However, since that tower showed up, most of my fellow Hagadi hit the road, and they left plenty of stuff behind. Like I said, I figure they're by the crash
You doing
site
okay,
somewhere.
Trauma? Nice.
Let's go get her.
Thank you. You've only tried Wizardry 5 on the SNES. It was too hard for me, even the beginning. Yeah, that's a hard game. This game's actually, the combat's harder than all the other Wizardries, but it's more controllable. So you can actually control running and things of that nature a lot better. There's a little hidden thing here. There's just hidden items scattered across Arnika.
Things for me.
You'll just want to kind of explore. And since you have a ranger, if you follow my advice, you'll find all this stuff without having to hit the search command. And there's a really good non-player character that you can't get in your party, but his name's Lord Prophet. He's down here. This guy is technically called an RPC. It's a recruitable player character. He's only level 5 rogue, but he has good stats. And you can change their class. Like, we could change him to something else later if we wanted to. When you do add someone to your party, they screw up your layout a lot of times. So you'll want to go back in here. He's up front. If you look, he only has 37 hit points. So you can decide, hey, do I want to have an extra meat shield, some guy I don't really care about? He can take some hits. Do I want to put him in the back to help protect the mages? You know, you just have to kind of figure that out yourself.
Yes.
That is what I'm going to do with him. I'm going to put him back here.
Taken care of.
Because we can still use range weapons back there. So he could still throw. He could equip this sling. We'll give him an extra shield here. So yeah, anyway. You can take a look at what he has. So he has a 28 dagger skill, which is pretty good, actually. His sword is crappy, but that could be trained over time if you want. Bow of 8. Throwing 14. It's pretty bad. He's got decent artifacts, 24. So he could use some items. So I think I'll just leave him like this for now. So we're going to talk to him.
It's been quite some time since anyone visited the temple.
Should you need anything, you may find it here.
And remember, I gave this tip earlier. Always leave
I hoped.
He seems like
before
a
you
kind,
buy or sell
generous soul.
the first time.
I hate him.
So you can get this communication boost.
My pleasure.
And you could actually go
It's
around
good
to all the NPCs and talk to them all first if you wanted to. Because you will get a boost from all of them. But I'm not that worried about that right now. Let's see. We only have 2,400. Let's see if there's anything we have to sell in our party inventory right now that we're not going to use. I'm going to hang on to these because we can do alchemy with them much later. And you can see NPCs only buy certain things. So we don't need the Book of Blessings because we already have it. So same with Book of Traps. Now we already got 5,000. You don't want to sell things that are unidentified unless you have to, because you get a lot less for them. If you have the Identify spell and you can cast that to see what they are, then you'll get a lot more. Alright, let's see if he has anything we want.
Yes?
Probably not right now. We can do, since we have an alchemist, we can mix potions and make a ton of money really fast. Especially since we have 48 alchemy. I'll show you something that we can mix right away. Let me double check and see if I can mix. Does he have a cure light condition? Yeah, he does. We'll try to mix one of these with a heavy heal. The way you have to select the character that has alchemy, so we have to have him selected. You just pick one up, hit the merge,
Excellent.
pick the second. So this just made a cure disease potion, which is worth a ton of money compared to what we just spent. I'm not skilled enough to identify it, but we'll see if we try to sell it what we'll get, even though it's unidentified. 330. So let's see if we lost money doing that or if we break even. Yeah, we actually would lose money because it costs 727 to buy one. So this is where we really need the Identify spell to be able to make some money on that. Hey, Drama, welcome to stream. How are you doing? You'd always recommend you as the expert on Wizardry. Oh, thanks. No, there's a lot of experts out there. There's a lot. BioGoo. There's a guy in the chat sometimes named Claus. They're definitely experts. But thank you. So let's take a look. Priest, hit the usable down here. Let's see what books he has that we don't have yet. He does not have Identify, but I think I know of an NPC that might have that book. Worst case, we could buy one of these and identify 5 cure disease all at once, because you can stack 5 at once, so you get really good economy out of this. Let me do that just to show you. Oh, we just bought. Okay, you just saw a bug. There's a bug in this game where if you left click several times, it might increase the quantity here, and then when you buy, it's actually going to cause you to buy multiples. So I just bought a whole bunch of Identify scrolls. That's okay. Let's go ahead and do some more mixing of those others and get 5. Got 4 of those, and do 4 heavy heals.
Have you counted?
Okay, I don't have enough money, so we'll have to do 3. Where did they go? There they are. Merge.
Excellent.
Put those together. So now we can use this, but we can't do it on the NPC menu. We have to get away from the NPC.
I hope.
Till we meet again.
Yes?
Now we can use this. You come down here and hit the little use
Taken
item.
care of.
And it didn't work. The cure disease requires so much Identify. Power 4 Identify is not enough. Let's try it again. It might be his artifacts is too low. Let's try to have the bard use it. There we go. The bard was skilled enough. So now we have these 3 cure disease we can sell. And watch, it went from selling for 300 each to 1320 each. So you definitely want to Identify. Hey Zerudge, welcome to stream. How are you doing? BioGoo and D Forte are top tier Wizardry aids, he said. Thank you. Okay, let's buy a little more. See, we already got a decent amount of gold. 2 more. Merge these.
Excellent.
Use our Identify again. Actually, let's do 3 more now. I want to do 5 to get as much out of those Identify scrolls as we can. Cure light condition.
Excellent.
Okay.
I hope.
I wish you could use items in the
meet again.
NPC menu, but you can't.
Very well. Damn it.
Hey, he failed. Right
Very
again.
well. Damn it.
Ah, Bard, you failed me. He has 33 artifacts,
It's good.
and he still failed. Identify power 4.
Have you counted?
We only have 1 more chance.
Goodbye.
Come on, Bard.
Very well.
All right, we got it.
It's good.
So now we'll get our money back. 6,600 we got now.
I hope.
But anyway, that's
we
how
meet
you can
again?
do crafting of potions and make tons of money quickly. Especially once you can make renewal potions. Oh,
Like the jackal.
there's a
the
bunch
enemy
of
flees
reds.
upon us.
Okay, so right here, there's something. See how it's kind of close on the mini-map? Right behind this wall. I saw it red and then it turned white because I went behind the wall.
Okay.
So let's sneak around and see what it is.
Taken care of.
It looks like it's roustabouts Whole bunch of them. And some cut bursts mixed in. The other thing, we're in a really bad position right now. This is one of the things that'll kill you as a beginner. If you look over here, there's some reds also. The fact that they're on the mini-map and not outside the very edge means these guys are going to get aggroed if I start combat right now. So then we're going to get surrounded. We're going to have two groups coming in on us. And you never want that unless you know for sure you can kill them. So we do not want to fight right here. We want to back out, which we can do because we're doing the run command. Let's try to get... Okay, we got both whites now. Let's come around the other side.
Be done.
See what happens from here. So they can see us. Let's go over on this side of the wall. They can still see us, but I have enough movement to get over here. You see what happened? There was still red. I didn't back up far enough, so they could still see me, so that's why combat started. But now we've positioned ourselves where they can't come in from behind or anything, and we'll fight one or two at a time. So now we can definitely take this on. So
Taken care
let's
of.
do our standard stuff.
Very well.
Guardian Angel, the fighter. Everybody else is just going to attack as they get closer. Yes, don't get flanked. That's right. It's one of the hardest things for players of the other Wizardries to get used to in Wizardry 8. The positioning. Alright, we'll be able to slam a bunch of them with this. We're going to retarget. You look at the mini map, see how it shows them all flashing? That's how we know we're hitting them all. If you do it, let me just show you. If I do it like here, and I only hit the first couple, you see only some of them are flashing down there. So it's like, okay, let's retarget. Try to get it better. Now we got them all.
Okay, done.
Bard can hit.
Very well.
You can't hit them all. See how many are flashing here with him, but we don't have a choice because his is a cone-based attack. Different. Hey there, Kaluga. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? You love this game so much? Far from perfect, but so much character. Yeah, that's fantastic. So much replayability.
Very well.
Okay, now we'll do a bless on the priest.
Very well.
Noxious fumes again.
Taken care
It will
of.
be done.
I'm gonna turn off the pan. We're gonna put it on off, so I'm the one controlling the camera. That'll speed it up a little bit if it becomes annoying. Okay, let's retarget. Got them all.
Very well.
George says Wizardry that Dixie is but such an amazing game. Nothing.
Very well.
Taken care of.
I'm gonna go ahead and let the bard fall unconscious here. Using the piercing pipes, I'm gonna show you something. So Lord Prophet, who's down in the basement down here, just cast Insanity on him. If that's a group-based spell, they can target without seeing the enemy. One of the really good things about group spells. He just turned them all insane. Okay, so look at the bard. He fell unconscious. So you might be tempted to use like smelling salts to wake him up. It won't work because his stamina is low. That's why he's unconscious. So that's why spells like stamina, rest all can be good.
Very well.
When you have a bard in your party, those types of casters are really useful. So we'll go ahead and bring him back with that. We're out of noxious fumes. We'll just switch to whipping rocks.
Taken care of.
I'm gonna do a run command, let someone get closer. Profits the MVP. Yeah, and that's a technique to use if you're new and you're fighting some tough monsters. You know, get the NPCs that are green on the mini map to help you. If they're green, they will help you in combat. Luglo says, I borrowed it from a friend years ago, and he was amazed when I told him I completed it. Yeah, it's it probably takes a new person, if you're not using hints and you're doing it on your own, it would probably take you about 60 to 80 hours to beat
Taken care
first
of.
time. Maybe even longer. But you can see we cast stamina, the bard came back. So we can do this again.
Very well. Very well.
I'm gonna go ahead and have the priest do stamina again to get some more training on water.
Very well.
And we got 3 left. I'm gonna move forward because I'm not worried anymore.
A creature of
Very
well.
Taken care of.
Now these are red. There's some reds over here, see on the minimap? They may pull in, but they may not. They're pretty far. So they may be outside of range. Okay, they're out of range. Now there's somebody behind us. See it on the minimap? So this guy here was being sneaky and came up from behind. So we're going to have to do the run and turn around. Otherwise, he's coming up here and he's going to hit these.
Okay.
He laughed hysterically. The insanity made him lose his turn.
Taken care
Get in close combat.
Taken care of.
Fighter did their special thing and knocked him out.
My unit is extinguished.
George says, I love it, but I've never completed it myself one day. Yeah,
Taken care
just
of.
takes patience,
How exquisite.
persistence.
I am going to become a master soon. You see?
Nice. Alright, Ranger, we're going to work on senses and dexterity still. And I'm going to get stamina. Let's put a little into water, alchemy, and let's work on his artifacts some more. Okay. So those reds are still out there somewhere. They're wandering around. Let's go visit the next NPC, the one with the blacksmith. Weaponsmith.
Who's that?
Until
Goodbye.
Get the communication boost. We'll come in here and rest. And get his treasure chest right here. Hey, Mr. Spock, welcome. How are you doing? Are there any good general tips for isolating enemies like divide and conquer? Yeah, there's a lot. Blinding flash and fear, especially blinding flash, are fantastic ways to help control how many can attack you and approach you. Because when an enemy's blind, unless they're a monk, they're gonna run. If they're a class monk, they won't run when they're blind. Or if they're stuck and they can't run, they're not gonna run. But you could position the blinding flash explosion to only hit a few. Like you could say, oh, I only hit this right side, or I only want to hit this left side, and kind of control it that way. Now, if they resist, and it doesn't work. But if you're able to pull it off, then you could control and say, yeah, these three are gonna end up running away then. Lots of crowd control spells like that.
Oh, it's
Present.
booby-trapped. Yes?
Ready.
Yes, always keeping your back to a wall. Very important. Nug the wall, just keep hugging it. And
Excellent.
choke points. You always want to try to do choke points. Okay, flash powder is useful. I think I already have some on some people. We need to check our throwing though, because most people are not good enough. 14, 29, 16, 17. Too risky to throw flash powder. The ninja's the only one I would somewhat trust with 29. You backfire that.
Present.
Okay, let's go ahead and sell some junk that we found. The quilt tunic actually might be able to use. Yeah, he still has robes. I'm not going to use the poison dagger. I don't recommend using it when you're a beginner, because it's cursed and you're going to lose your ranged attacks. But as you become more experienced, you might want to consider it. Definitely a trade-off with certain cursed items. Okay. Any ways to use drain divide enemies? Yeah. You generally do not want to do that though, because what'll happen is they'll come up around the divide, and then they're going to attack you on the sides. You don't want that. Glad you're doing well, Mr. Spock. Yeah, you do not want to split them up that way. It becomes a flanking situation. So you want to use choke points, where you get in a doorway that's narrow, and force them to come in from one. Now, that doesn't work against ranged attackers or spellcasters. In fact, it can make it worse sometimes. Like, sometimes the casters won't cast a spell unless they can see you on the screen. And so putting yourself in a doorway and there's 5 casters back there, you'll get pummeled. So instead, in that situation, you want to position around the corner where only one can be seen and cast at you, and then you can cast outward and hit all of them. So there's techniques like that. I haven't been able to show that yet because we haven't run across any casters. Okay.
Here.
Let's look at the fighter first. So this gleaming sword, it's expensive, 1,200, but this thing is fantastic. We are definitely buying this. The 10% blind on that is actually way higher than that when you play on easy. It's probably more like 30% is my guess. And blinding the enemy is going to make them run, or you're going to do double damage, and they'll have -5 evasion armor class. So this is just an amazing weapon. What else we got for the fighter? Shards are way overpriced. The all pike is actually kind of better. and it's a lot cheaper and can be used by more. So that thing's garbage. We're gonna replace our bullet stones with spike stones. They're way better. Spike stones do 8 on average damage, 5% knockout. This only does 2.5 on average, 4% knockout. Okay, let's see what else. So I'm probably going to buy another all pike for the ranger instead of a spear. It's way better than a spear. Yeah, pincher attack is no good. Kid Icarus says, is there a spell to unequip cursed items, or do you have to run to town? Yes, there is a remove curse spell. I think it's a level 4 spell. But if you have a bishop in the party, bishops can uncurse for free. They can uncurse items. But it doesn't always work. If your bishop's lower level, that's not going to work. The remove curse spell will always work. Okay. There is a Naginata for the ninja. I think this still does the same average damage as the all pike. Let me look. Yeah, same average damage. It weighs less, and it's actually better initiative than the Naginata. Yeah, they just, for some reason, when they created items for this game, they didn't really balance it properly. Some they did, but a lot of them are off. Fear bolts. These are fantastic. Highly recommend getting these. Really good fear chance. We're going to have the ranger equip those. They do decent damage too. Okay. Heater shield we're going to buy for the fighter. So let's take a look. Currently round shield, which is armor weight class of light. +2/+1. Now we have +3/+1. A +5 shield bonus. And this is considered medium. There's kite shields you can find later that are considered heavy. But as his skill goes up, we'll actually be able to get a +2. Total of 5 evasion with this heater shield. Okay, what else? I want to make this fighter a good tank. Plate mail's good, but sometimes this guy generates chainmail +1 lower, which is really good because it gives you some magic resistance. Mr. Spock says, I assume general rules apply, like take out the caster range enemies first. Believe it or not, no, in this game that does not often apply. Sometimes it's not possible. Lots of magic users in this game have too high resistance. You can't take them out with spells very easily. And you can't hit them with range because melee will come up and block the way. A lot of times you have to kill the melee first. You have no choice. And then you can get back to the casters. Not always, but in general, the melee could be more dangerous than the casters. Because what'll happen is like in Rapix Rift especially, the casters will buff the melee guys, make them just killing machines. Or they'll disable you, and then the melee just does like ridiculous damage and kills you quickly. So a lot of times you gotta kill the melee first. Unless you are out in the open and somehow you can magically run all the way around and get to the casters. But that's not likely. Okay, leather greaves. They're light, decent armor class. Probably gonna buy that for the alchemist. And see how the fighter's doing. Feathered hat is terrible. You don't get hit on the head very often. Definitely get hit in the body more. This weighs 33. We have to be careful how much we're carrying. So we're on 91 out of 312. So she's so strong. We can definitely buy that. Armor class goes from 13 to 16 on anti-penetration. That's huge. Then this is an upgrade for the ranger. This is an upgrade for the bard. Miles, what are you wearing? Okay. Stud chaucises are good. They provide +8 and weigh kind of medium, 17. We're gonna buy those. We'll give those to priest. Okay, let's go check out Anna now.
Goodbye.
Credit to the AI. Yes, the AI in Wizardry 8 is pretty darn good compared to most games. They even have different modes, like you can set flags as like to cause the enemy to sneak, be aggressive,
Think
all
I
kinds of
recognize
things.
them.
Well, but
Dredge says melee charges you and forces you to deal with them, thus defending their ranged allies. Yeah, they do.
All right. Goodbye.
All right, what do you have for us, Anna? She's got poison darts. Definitely buying those for the ninja. I'm gonna buy the shurikens for the ninja. Alright, what else you got? So, heavy crossbow does extra damage. It does weigh quite a bit more compared to the light. Let's compare here. But this is -1 to hit. So, we get 10% damage boost, 5% extra chance to hit for doubling the weight, causing stamina to go down twice as fast. I'm not sure if that's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. We're going to stick with the light. And definitely a long bow over a short bow, though. The fighter. She sells bows, but she won't buy them. That's funny. Glad crabs can't cast spells, I think. Yeah, that would be bad. So she has enchanted blade scrolls. We could buy those later, but power 3, I don't think we need that. When you focus on dexterity and strength, that you don't really need a enchanted blade that much. We're gonna buy these. And then we got some more spike stones we're gonna buy. So, see how her load turned blue up here? Too heavy. So we're gonna split them. Put the rest over here. And now she's not overloaded. And we'll give Miles these and have him equip a sling. Take his throwing knives, give him to the ninja. Okay, so the barbed arrows are going to the fighter. We'll give some to the bard too. We don't have Getched here, so we'll sell the lightning rod. You'll notice in the game that certain NPCs will buy certain items. She buys a lot of things that others won't. Okay. Anything else? She has some gloves. I'm gonna buy these for the bard.
All right. Goodbye.
Moody says, eat better. Crabs make a tasty meal. Someone once commented on the fish here on top. Now every time grabs my attention. Yeah.
Oh,
Present.
booby trapped.
Okay, we failed that, so we're gonna rest until we can cast this again. Mr. Fox says, I just finished a book where a giant lobster ate humanoids. He wanted to prepare them like we prepare the lobster. Hey, it's fair game.
There is a trap.
I wish there were more movies and books like that. I think it's kind of an important lesson. People respect other life.
Booby trapped.
There we go. Success. Bard 51. Alright. Okay, so we can see it's not dagger scatter because that's red. It's poison darts. When we click here, all of them are green. Yes! Lobster boiling humans, yeah. There you go, it's fair game. It's not very good items. That's okay. You need to expect that a lot in Wizardry 8. You're gonna get a lot of garbage in the treasure chests. That's just how it is. My mods, I changed that, but the vanilla version, that's what you get. There should be some rogues back here. There's some over there we just saw.
Taken
Sneak
care
around
of.
the corner and see where these are. There they are. Let's do our sneak attack, guys.
Taken care of.
Very well.
Sneak attack.
Very well.
Check.
I sense something moving.
Very well.
This will be a beautiful battle.
Moody says, I can imagine being in a tank with rubber bands around my fingers. Oh my gosh. And Dredge says, chess being random is pretty fun.
Very well.
Taken care of.
Alright, let's go ahead and do plus. Actually, let's do an armor plate. I should have cast that
Very well.
earlier.
Okay.
They're halfway dead already. This is a good opportunity to show you the combat layout. So look at the mini-map. If I go like this one's hitting the right side. So he can hit anyone, because he's right here. If I try to go like this and position these two, now this guy's on the left. So he can hit anybody. So sometimes what you'll want to do, since I know the walls here, I'm going to position like this. And I'm going to put somebody that's a little tankier, or at least that I don't care about, like Miles, over here the next round. Not going to take place this round, it'll be next round. We'll put the ranger and him over there. What that'll do is then if that guy's still alive the next round, he won't be able to hit them or them. Now, they're going to probably come up more on the left side, so we could potentially do the same thing. We put the ninja here and the bard here, and then move the casters here. So now, unless the monsters come all the way around back here, the casters will be safe. So this is what I'm going to do this round.
Taken care of.
And let's get all these positioned. Try to hit as many as we can with the cone.
Very well.
Let's position on this guy. Okay, so the round finished, and if you look down here on the mini-map, you can see they repositioned. So, for the next round, the guys will be nice and protected, but
Very well.
his monsters are already dead, so it doesn't matter.
Very well.
Yes.
Taken care of. Taken care of.
Okay, and we got good training out of it. And we got a golf club. Doesn't that look like a golf club? It's a flail, but to me it always looks like a golf club. Alright, let's go snag hidden items over here.
I find these.
This is great if you have a gadget here. Later on, you'll be
I
able to get
find
a
these.
noxious fumes gadget created. You find the other piece to it. Putter of the Damned. Yeah. Now, before we fight those guys over there, I want to get my spell points back. So I'm going to come and rest here in Anna's shop.
Present.
Okay. Come on. Get your armor plate. Light. Magic screen. Okay. Let's go take on the other guys.
Our foe lurks beyond.
So here we're going to kind of hug a wall, and we're going to fight them while they're far away. So there's actually another group here. They pulled in two groups. One of these is random, and one is a set encounter. So the raiders are the set encounter. The thieves are random. Where are they? They might be somewhere else. I'm not seeing them.
Taken care of.
Very well.
Okay, let's get a guardian angel and a fighter.
Very well.
That's all we
Taken
want.
care
Just let them
of.
run forward. Kid Icarus says, is there ever a reason to take a Lord over a fighter in vanilla? For fun? I mean, yeah. There's many options you can have. Fighters in general are stronger. They're going to be better. If you're a beginner, you don't want to mess around with a Lord. But there can be a lot of fun gameplay with Lords. I was doing an all-Lord run. Did that a long time ago. They made it pretty far. Because they get regen. So early on in the game, they're amazing. You just rest for like 1 second and boom, they've got full health. But you really have to... Late game, they become really strong if you can make it that far. In early game, they're pretty strong. Mid game, they're not. The fighters are still better in general. Okay. We are ready. See, that was an example. I don't know if you saw it, but when my instrument just attacked, it didn't hit both of them. There's a weird blockage right here that you can't see.
Very well.
See, look on the mini map. This guy is hiding behind something. That's considerable. You can see it. This one on the left is not flashing. You'll find weird stuff like this in the game. That's why these types of spells where you can target versus cone are in general better.
Very well. It will be done.
Here they go. This is going to be a good place to show you crowd control, because we're not going to be able to kill them this round, and they're going to partially surround us. That guy's trying to come up from behind.
See a creature.
Okay, so here's the thieves. They're coming in from this side, the raiders. So you look down here, we're partially surrounded. We definitely want a position where we don't want the casters getting hit here. Now, we don't care about Miles. We'll put him over there. Ninja's gonna go here. Bard's gonna go here. This is what we're gonna do. So they'll be able to hit any of these. They won't be able to hit the priest or alchemist next round. So let's get our noxious fumes hitting as many as possible. Looks pretty good. Same with our took the wrong one. The instrument. So it looks like we're hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that way. So this is the best bang for the buck right here.
Very well.
And then we're just gonna switch like this. Let's try to get 2. There's a wall there, so we're gonna try to get 2 on the front like this. Attack this guy. Oh, hey Colorado, welcome to stream. How you doing? How do you know who will receive the artifact skill from finding items? Everyone that is within a certain range of the artifact required for that item will get a chance. So you can have multiple people get an increase, but it depends on their current artifact level versus the item's required artifact skill. If you're too high on artifacts, then they're never going to get an increase. And if they're too low, they're never going to get an increase on that type of item. So it's just really tricky. Okay, now, normally I would use the Bard's thing again, but I don't want to do that because he'll fall unconscious, and he's right here. So he could get attacked while he's unconscious. That's really bad. So we could either use a stamina potion, or we could cast stamina on him. I think I'm gonna have the priest cast stamina on him.
Very well.
Because a whip that's a weak weapon. We're not gonna get much use out of that. Noxious fumes again. Everybody else just fight. Kill this guy in front. Oh, I forgot to show you the crowd control, dang it. Well, we're not going to kill him all this round, so I'll do that the next one. You see this one here? He almost got to us from behind. There is a gap here, in theory. So. Okay. So let's say we're in trouble and we're about ready to die. This is where we're going to use Blinding Flash. I want to try to blind them all because we don't know if it's going to work on any of them. I have them all targeted. Yep.
Taken care of.
And then let's say more stamina on Bard.
Very well.
We'll use piercing pipes this way.
Very well.
Everybody else,
Very
try to
well.
focus that guy. He's behind almost. So if we successfully blind any of these, they're gonna run or stumble. Okay, we blinded all of them except this guy, I think. See that little eye on him? So we don't have to worry about these guys at all this round. They're all gonna run or stumble. So we're gonna put all of our focus on him. And let's just do an acid splash. Let's kill this guy. There's the blind guy running. They're all just gonna start running. Alright, so now we have an opening. This is where ranged weapons come really in handy. Because, well, we killed them all. Couldn't tell you anymore. But as they would run back when the blindness wears off, we'd get free shots at them. Okay, ninja. We're doing dexterity and strength. I'm gonna go ahead and get sleep in case we need another crowd control. We'll put air, alchemy, throwing. Okay, looks like they dropped some items. Ooh, another shadow cloak. You can see on the mini map the whites, those are the items that it scattered. Why can I not touch that? What the? That was a weird bug. Okay. About this. There's the guy that ran, I think. Nope. Friendly? It's a friendly. These are going on the fighter. Get some hand-me-downs.
Things for me.
Poignard, that's definitely better for the rogue than this dagger. So the dagger only does 2.5 on average, weighs 1. This weighs a lot more, but it does 4.5 on average, plus 1 to hit. This is a quest item. I'm not picking it up. I think there's anything in here. I'm actually gonna put my back to the wall and rest like this.
Present.
Okay, let's go save our next RPC.
Big fight. I'll back you up, okay?
So these are level 8. They're a lot higher level than me, so their chance of their effects working on me goes up a lot. They have paralysis. And our resistance... So our resistance drops compared to them, and theirs goes up compared to us. That's why it's playing what I call the music of death. So, what are we gonna do? I think we'll do Noxious Fumes.
Taken care of.
Do Guardian Angel on our tank up front.
Very well.
Here's
Very well.
Taken care of.
there's
I
Vidomina.
do not trust that person.
Wizardry 7. Okay, we're ready. See, my spells aren't doing hardly any damage. Weapons are fine, but the spells,
Taken care of.
not much. Let's get a bless.
Very well.
Wow, all three got knocked out from that.
Very well.
Taken care of.
Hey, Bo, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Our will prevails.
Yeah, another tutorial.
I think you.
Okay. So, Miles, let's give you some more strength and dexterity. Artifacts. Growing. Go ahead and work on his dagger.
Finally. Oh, thank God it's you. Whoever you are. I was expecting the Dark Savant. And no offense, but you look like a bunch of schoolgirls compared to him. His troopers locked me up in here, and I was expecting him any minute. And we've already had one run-in too many. Say, let's get out of here before...
I thought there'd be something more in this for us.
Let's go. I'm getting better. I prosper with the will of destiny. Delightful.
Beware, my power grows stronger.
Okay, so since she joined, let's double check and make sure she didn't screw up our positioning. Okay, so we're gonna leave her up front. She's pretty tanky. She has 61 hit points. She's a Valkyrie, so she can take some hits. She can get some good armor. Let's take a look at what armor I have for her. Just skull cap, it looks like. The stun mace is really lackluster, although since we're playing on easy, this knockout probably does have a good chance to proc. So I think I will leave it equipped on her. You play on expert, the chance of things proccing goes down so drastically. Glad you're doing good, Bo. Kid says, nice place to live if you're okay with conga line of bandits and Terminators walking around. Yeah. Alright, strength and vitality. Same deal on the fighter. Shield, sword, close combat. Bard, intelligence and dexterity. Artifacts, music, locks and traps. Priest, intelligence, piety. Alright, third level spells still. We're gonna get Rust All. So, in Wizardry 6 and 7, in general, you want to get spells early in each realm because as you level up, potentially the magic points will go up. You don't have that deal here in Wizardry 8. Wizardry 8, you could leave this forever, not get a spell, and then finally get one. And look, it assigns 24 instead of just 4. So that's one difference between the other games in this one. But Rest All will give stamina to the whole party. That's very important. Web would actually work really well too if you're playing on Novice. It doesn't work well on Expert, but on Novice this would be a really good spell to get. Okay, let's get her some more artifacts. Throwing, divinity. Alchemist. Intelligence and dexterity. I'm gonna get Cure Paralysis here. That's a really important spell to have. Alchemy, throwing, and earth. Okay. Let's go ahead and rest.
Present.
Alright. Let's see. Where do we go next? Let's go to Helly's, and then we'll do the bank. This is the
I
tavern.
don't trust that person.
Wow, Helly. Look, 7. What the hell? It's a. Did it have to him? He's here. It's why we on the out. This'll hit the sure thing. And you're.
Now we have to pay Miles tab because we have no party.
Now it'll come. Good thinking, Maya.
Where are my.
Allow.
Okay.
I'll see you when.
Goodbye.
No, I'm not going to buy anything from her. He mainly has just food and some minor musical instruments. This Viola d'Amore is charm spell. They nerfed it in this game. In Wizardry 6 and 7, it would paralyze enemies even in combat. Do that anymore. It's a non-combat spell. Let's go ahead and get our spell points back. Early boot physics, yeah.
Got trouble over here.
Okay, let's get... I do still have magic screen. Okay, that's good enough. You want to make sure you have magic screen on before you do a trap. In case it's fireball or something.
Our foe lurks beyond.
They kept with the tradition of the boot physics. Wizardry 6 was the first one where that was introduced. Not really physics, but showing of things. And then Wizardry 7 really dropped the ball on that.
Look, it's alive.
Maybe D.W. Bradley got some complaints from some parents.
Fortune will see us crush this enemy.
Okay. So we're out of divine spell points because we wasted them all on the magic screen. That's okay. We don't have armor plate. Let's get that going.
Very well. Very well.
Taken care of.
So 2 can fit in this doorway. Still better than getting surrounded. I'm gonna have to rename the priest to failure. Failing a lot.
Taken care of.
Very well.
So in general, once you start getting hurt, I would probably preemptively cast a heal right now on this ranger, but I don't have any now. So you might want to consider using a potion.
Check.
Because if they did that amount of damage that round, they're probably going to do more. You just don't want the character to die. So we'll have them spend the time healing now. Hey, Kipper, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Doing well.
Be done.
How'd your stream go tonight?
Booby trapped.
Let's go ahead and rest with her back to the wall. Are you? Yeah, you're doing Baldur's Gate, right? The enhanced version.
Trapped. Damn it.
Doing okay. Steam was grand. Oh, you played. Oh, the stream. I misread that. Stream was grand. Nice.
Bad news dead ahead.
So we have all the items we need to get into the bank. And steal, pilfer.
Think I reckon.
Welcome to Arnika Community
You had a bit of
Bank.
odd chatter.
Can I help you?
New account talking
Are you
strange.
here to make your deposit
Then
or
just say,
withdraw?
why haven't
Perhaps
you
your
banned
other
me?
business.
Seemed like an odd thing to do. Yeah, that's weird. Someone wanting attention, I guess. There's lots of weirdos out there, Kipper. Okay, we want to give Ellie, that's fine.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Ciao.
Alright. Yeah. There's some weird people out there. Some borderline mentally ill that need like really a lot of attention. It's sad. Okay, here's Antoine. Now, this is the most overpowered sword for most of the game. It is cursed, however, you'll just kill everything. So, I do recommend equipping it if you want to have your front character just destroy everything. I'm not going to equip it on my front character because it just makes it too easy. I'm going to give it to Miles, though. Miles can be cursed. Miles can go crazy with that when someone gets behind him. And you were playing Baldur's Gate 1, the Enhanced Edition. Yeah. You already ruined the plot? What happened? The curse just makes it where you can't unequip. So like if I try to swap weapons here, it won't allow me to. Can't switch to the ranged. Devil Dust. This is good. These are good. Whirlwind Power 3, and they're really cheap. If you ever see those for sale, I highly recommend buying them and queuing them up. Okay, a bunch of unidentified. Interesting. Yeah, ignoring them is a good thing to do. Trolls and such. Drama's looking forward to seeing Baldur's Gate. The third one, you mean? Or the enhanced edition that Kiffer's playing? I'm playing it too, but I haven't streamed that for over a month now. I was taking a little break from it.
Ready.
I'll probably get back to that soon. Tarnished mail. Claymore. This is decent damage, but it's heavy and two-handed. Kind of assumed it was a friend pranking you, so you just waited him out. Yeah, that's understandable.
Locked tight.
He made 6 characters rather than 1 and refused to let the plot drive the characters. I'm the same boat. I did the same thing, Kipper. I did not want NPCs. I wanted my own party. But yeah, someone had warned me about that. That you're probably missing out a lot of the story when you make your own characters. That's okay. Alright, so... here we go. We got a hefty golem to deal with. But no fear.
I kill them all.
232 hit points, level 7. We're gonna do Guardian Angel on the fighter first.
Very well.
And remember, we have 2 up front now, so Vi Domina's gonna need one too. She'll get it the next round. And then after this fight, I'll be done for tonight. Try to nauseate him, which is not likely, but if it happens, then that'll give him 2 less evasion armor class, and he might miss turns. I am going to do a bless with the bard right now, because my priest is low on divine spells.
I'm on it.
And then we'll switch over to using piercing pipes. We're looking forward to all the Baldur's Gate drama. Okay. Guardian Angel Vi.
Very well.
Piercing pipes on him. Noxious fumes again.
Taken care of.
There we go. Colorado says, I assume there must be some way of unequipping items. Yeah, there's the remove curse spell you can get. There's scrolls of remove curse, and then a bishop has the native ability to uncurse any item infinite amount of times if you want a bishop.
Taken care of.
Okay, he's already halfway dead. Let's do another Guardian Angel and a fighter.
Very well.
Take this.
Yes, Icarus says you're not missing much, but it's okay, but not the best for the game. But there were the Iceland Vale games that you enjoy rolling the whole party. Minsk is the best party member in the history of RPGs.
Very well.
41 hit points. So.
Taken care of.
Delightful.
Cool. And cool. Alright, let's get some healing cast here and then we'll be done. Perfect. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.